Once, before sorrow ever learned the path to their doorstep, there lived a woman whose hands carried both fire and flower with equal grace. Her name was Maria. In the quiet town of Yasola, Mama Maria was not known for riches, but for warmth. Her small bakery leaned against their modest home, its windows forever misted with steam and sweetness. At sunrise, the streets filled with the scent of fresh bread, meat pies, and buttered buns. By noon, pots of stew and jollof rice simmered richly. By evening, laughter seasoned the air. People often said her food tasted like heaven remembered. And at the heart of that lively kitchen, often balanced on a wooden stool too tall for her tiny legs, stood her daughter, Lena. From the age of 3, Lena followed her mother like a faithful shadow. She kneaded dough with clumsy fingers, spilled flour across the floor, and tasted soups too hot for her tongue. Mama Maria never scolded her. "Let the child learn," she would laugh. "Hands that touch food early learn kindness early." Lena loved colors, the deep red of pepper, the bright green of herbs, the golden shimmer of oil. She watched her mother cook as if witnessing a miracle unfold. And slowly, without even realizing it, she fell in love with food, with creation, with the quiet magic of turning simple things into beauty. Their family was small. Their money was little. But peace slept comfortably in their house, and love ate from the same plate every night. Then one rainy evening, joy slipped away. When Lena was 6, her mother went into labor with another child. She never returned. The bakery doors closed. The stove went cold. The laughter fled. Though she was only a child, Lena felt the weight of absence. She would stand in the kitchen, tracing her fingers over her mother's pots as though warmth might still linger there. Many nights, she slept curled on the floor beside the silent stove. From that day forward, cooking became her language of grief. Her father held her through those aching years. Gentle and present, he became both parents at once. He allowed her to cook. He praised her dishes, even when they failed. "Your mother lives in your hands," he would tell her softly. "And she smiles whenever you cook." Lena believed him. For 10 years, it was just the two of them, healing, growing, learning how to breathe again. Then life changed its face once more. When Lena turned 15, her father remarried. "She needs a woman's guidance," he said. He brought home Mrs. Collett, a woman with sharp eyes and a smile that never truly rested. She arrived with her daughter, Ruby, who wore beauty like armor and laziness like perfume. At first, peace pretended to stay. Then death returned, quiet, sudden, merciless. Lena's father passed away in his sleep, and with him died her shield. Mrs. Collett's grief was brief. By the second week, the rules of the house had been rewritten. Lena was removed from her bedroom and sent permanently to the kitchen. "You belong here," her stepmother declared, folding her arms. "This is your usefulness." School ended. Her dream of becoming a chef was mocked. Rest became something she only remembered. From dawn until night, Lena cooked, cleaned, fetched water, and washed clothes. Ruby did nothing. "She is delicate," Mrs. Collett would say. "Her beauty will open doors. She must not stress herself." Lena swallowed her pain like water, quietly, without protest. Yet when the house fell asleep, she would sneak into her mother's old pastry shop and cook small meals from leftover ingredients. In those moments, she felt less alone. She felt her mother near. Destiny, however, had not forgotten her address. A neighbor, Aunt Grace, had been watching. She had known Mama Maria. She recognized injustice when she saw it. One evening, Aunt Grace slipped Lena an old phone and began teaching her in secret. Through late nights and flickering screens, Lena learned about international cuisines, plating techniques, nutrition, and cultures beyond her city. She practiced endlessly. Soon, she began quietly helping local vendors improve their dishes. Word spread. Whispers reached Mrs. Collett. Envy took root. Then came the announcement that shook the entire region, the Royal Cultural Summit. A grand celebration where chefs would showcase heritage and innovation before the king himself. The winner would receive royal endorsement and international culinary training. Lena's heart pounded like a drum. She practiced day and night, cooking with memory, with sorrow, with hope. But on the morning of the event, Mrs. Collett locked her inside the kitchen. Ruby was sent in her place. At the summit, gold-trimmed canopies shimmered under the sun. Drums rolled softly. The finest cooks prepared their stations with steady hands. The king rose, lifted his staff, and declared the ceremony open. Fires ignited. Knives sang. Confidence filled the air. Then Ruby stepped forward. She stood before a flame she had never respected, never understood. Her hands trembled. She struck a match, once, twice. Failure each time. Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Desperate, she poured fuel carelessly. The fire leapt violently. Flames roared upward. People screamed. Guards rushed forward. Pots crashed. Order fractured. From his throne, the king stood. "How," he thundered, "does someone who does not understand fire dare stand before my throne and call herself a cook?" Silence pressed heavily against the crowd. Then an elderly voice rose. It was Aunt Grace. "My king," she said steadily, "the hands meant to cook here today are not these." Gasps spread like wind. The true cook has been locked away by envy. The king's gaze hardened. "Bring her." When Lena arrived, dust clung to her feet and fear to her chest. Her clothes were plain. Her hands were rough. But her eyes were steady. She bowed. Then she began. She touched the fire like an old friend. Her knife moved with calm assurance. She cooked as someone who had known loss, and turned it into flavor. As the meal came together, something shifted. Aroma rose gently, like prayer. The crowd inhaled, and remembered childhood kitchens, forgotten comfort, lost laughter. The king tasted the dish. He closed his eyes. Long seconds passed. "This," he said at last, "is not merely food. It is honesty on a plate." He straightened. And honesty must be answered with justice. Mrs. Collett and Ruby were stripped of pride and sentenced to months of labor, to understand the weight of work they once despised. As for Lena, the king declared, "Let the world taste what a willing heart and steady hands can create." She was granted a full international culinary scholarship. She traveled across oceans. She trained under masters. She mastered cuisines far beyond her beginnings. Years later, she returned home. She built a culinary school for forgotten youth. She opened an orphanage where love slept safely each night. And the girl once locked in a kitchen became a queen. Not by crown. Not by blood. But by service. True greatness often grows quietly in places the world overlooks. Patience and skill cannot be buried forever. Envy may rise, but it collapses before perseverance. And the noblest crown anyone can wear is the willingness to serve others with the gifts placed in their hands.